Ready up, Sealed Hunters. How is everybody doing today? Sorry, I'm not feeling too hot today, so I may be a bit lower energy. I did two things on the server yesterday, on the realm. One, I gave Silas the bow we prepared for him. And two, I will show you.
The only way to reach the mountain. What?
Your true armor. Do it.
Oof, the worst possible Ring of Broken Promises.
Great. Good to see.
Still no Jade Ring, you are letting me down, buddy.
Always let me know.
We'll take Indestructible, Flaming.
Always go.
Sacrament and dole.
Today we won't do long bounty sessions before, and we will go straight into the Marin Woods. And my headset is not playing. Oh, a firmware update is available for my headset. Great. So I guess I need to download that first now. The fuck? This really isn't working anymore. You've got to be shitting me right now. I didn't need this before. Good, I got my microphone back at least. But now I still need the input audio back. Ready up, guys. There is a problem going on right now on my end. Give me a second. There, I just grabbed a cable. Since to get my own audio back, I will need to get the freaking update done. Sorry about all of this, guys. There was no notice, nothing, it just happened. And of course, after I started the stream, so yeah, this is not good. There. Can you guys hear the game? Because that is the most important part right now. That you can hear it. Let's see. No, you can't. God damn it. How about now? Can you guys see it now? How about now? Ah, okay. Yeah, right, I'm not the smartest cook here in the toolbox today. I tried to get audio, like testing if you guys can hear it. Turning on the stream manager audio.
Wouldn't you like to see sacrifice?
Yeah, really smart. Of course you can. I can hear it when my headset isn't working, right? Don't you fucking dare to get turned off during the update and giving me trouble because of that. Now the headset keeps restarting, and it's a problem I already had a few times, right? Now I wonder if that is because of the update is going through and it restarts because of that, or is it the trouble and I'm in real shit because now it restarts while updating. Let me Google that. Well, but let me show you the change I did on this yesterday. Ta-da! A nice big statue. This was the second Twitch drop, the one you cannot get from me. Very much to my dismay. Where is a good spot for this? No. Let's go with the old trope of having your valuable possessions right next to your bed. Means I can move the iron brazier. Let's put that, if possible, next to here. getting some lighting onto the statue at all times. That's no cool. Oh? Which one? And yesterday, Ball Pit got the first up of the 3 updates.
Eyes up. Ellsworth and winning can't even stop. Something's
Man, I really hope the restarts were from the update and not because I was doing bullshit and not because of the issue that now I have a real problem with the headset. Ooh, Suicune, that's a really good one. One more I can now by now recommend is Final Fantasy Tactics. Before I couldn't since I did not play a lot of it. Well, I still haven't played a lot of it, but by now I dabbled in it at least. And that game is so good. I just always getting direct back to games that I already played. Heck, I will be completely honest. The only reason I touched Final Fantasy Tactics and got it in the first place was because of No Rest for the Wicked. Because of No Rest for the Wicked. The class system. The class system they are designing takes inspiration from Final Fantasy Tactics. And since I never played that, I wanted to get a better look into it. To understand it more than just what they wrote and shared. Yeah, Thomas, you guys know I'm terrible with names. Thomas even mentions each time they talk about it, one of the designers of Final Fantasy Tactics, and his specific work on that drop system. Well, the engine, the sonar is still reacting. God, this feels so off without sound. Why are the damage numbers so low? Ah, right, I took off the ring. You know, there is some part of me that does not want to finish this area today. And it's not what you think. Not because I don't want to push further or something, no. Because of all the boars. Right now, before I kill the boss, this is guaranteed boar heaven. Like, I know of at least 7 boars on this map right now. Maybe even more. And to make the druidic gloves I want for my glamour, I do need more... Yep, tusks, I think, right? Let me check. Yes. So I kinda just wanna make use of this area, you know? But I also at the same time think that's pretty lame. Not that being lame has ever stopped me, I mean, I'm still here. And Bravely Default I should be getting at some point. The first one or the second one? Which one would you recommend, Jinxie? Yeah, see? Here, now another boar. And then down there are 2 more, so I know of 8 boars in this area. Let me check on the headset. It's immer not the... Ow. Yeah, I have so much less awareness. Because I have no sound. It's insane. But I think before I perfect my gloves, I should work on getting proper pants, right? Ready up, token boost. No, not directly. I am... this is my first playthrough on this patch. And my first character. I just got lucky and got this bow after the Riven Twins. It dropped from them. No! So I'm still in the story playthrough, though I am skipping the story. Since I've done it so many times, I want to wait for 1.0 until I do the next real story playthrough. And then I will talk with every NPC, I will do everything, let everything play out, look for all the hidden books. Though I will be honest, I am currently considering not progressing this area because of the unholy amount of boars you have in here. And I really hope the fucking firmware update is done soon. I know I'm whining about that, but it's so annoying. Especially since the sound work of this game is so great. If I buff that one as well. Secke, thank you for joining for 3 streams in a row. I do appreciate it. Let me double check once again. It's still on the very first step, that freaking update. Is the headset on? Yes. One other game I started playing yesterday again after the stream out of... I don't know why I started it again. I have streamed it as well in the past. No... 7 days today. To die, not today. even a full focus build would. Let's see. Yeah, 2 of them would be a rough buff. That I will need to re-roll manually if I want it lower. But having 2 at 18 is evil. But we can improve our build, so we will. Next time we go to town. I mean, using the plague ring would be the easiest way to get this down. And I could do that with the if I replace this. Taking this one off. Oh. My headset just turned itself off. Not sure that was a good thing. Hopefully that was a good sign for the firmware update. But it still says it's working on the dongle, and it said to not turn that headset or the dongle off. So I am worried. And no, I don't update the firmware on my headset regularly. Let's see again. So let's use a calculator real quick. We have 79 stamina. Let's say only 2 of our arrows hit. That would mean on a perfect jade ring, 12% of our stamina gets recovered. That is 9.4. And on 103 it would be 12 something. Yeah, and our attack with this ring on, the agility ring, is 13.6. So we need 13 or 14 stamina if we don't activate this. If we don't activate the buff. So we need a bit more stamina. But where can be attack stamina reduction? Magical enchantments blue. It can be on the bow itself. After parry. That's on weapon, that's on bow. Here's on glove. The stamina cost reduced allow focus. That's not something we want. And then only downsides. So I would need more stamina. Since we can't guarantee to hit with 3 or 4 arrows at the same time. It's only reliably hitting 2 at once. So yeah, we have a problem with that as well when it comes to our build. If it was at max focus, we would be talking completely different here. Ah, okay, it's from the other side and jumping there. Got it. But we also have chests over here. Still one. Do we want to see if the mini bosses respawn and the chests? Okay, at this point though, the update takes longer than 30 minutes, which is bothering me. Now I'm really worrying. Since I believe it may be stuck, let's close it. Yeah, this time it works. Last time it did not even start. Apparently. I have sound! Okay, now it is because of the firmware update though that it's restarting, I think. Since the bar is filling up and everything. So let's go turn this down a bit again. That means I can turn this off. Or take this off the cable, I mean. Turn on my headset. And I have sound, guys! I have sound! Oh, beautiful, beautiful sound. Never leave me again. You have no idea how weird this was. The boss is dead, the boss is dead. But yeah, back to the planning. I could also replace this, but I really like the overall attack speed. Like, it's attack speed, it's casting speed, it's everything. I don't have an essence ember right now. Okay. I do need more stamina. Honestly, I will just try once I get a 6% jade ring. Yeah, the Dusk Child I don't like because they don't have boots. I do want to check the Umbral Knight ones, they may look good, but now let's look for others we may find. The Planeswalker, the gold clashes too much. Otherwise, they would be really nice. The Seer's Breaches. Maybe.
Leave some resin in the glades for the rest.
Mate, beat apart.
Not all weapons end in a point.
These are my scissors. No, these are my scissors. A customer.
This island. Let's get. Time.
Wait, no, I need to check my... essences. Stamina of max focus, wound damage. Okay, I do have physical damage still for the pants. I have armor penetration for the pants. Let me check all of the plagued pants enchantments. Stamina recovery would be a good bonus. Yeah, and definitely the crit damage. So we don't have a crit damage now. Wait. I do want to take the frost damage if possible, so let's see here. This will be either a low health or max focus build later. For now I think it will stay a low health build since, well, that's what I have prepared.
Dear me, you look like a ball of yarn at the top of the stairs. I'm looking a bit.
What do you girls have to sell right now?
These are my scissors. No, these are my scissors.
So we want to see this one on how this one would look. Like shit. Also bad.
The greatest victory.
I felt the up.
Destroy. No, let's see. Here, these are 75% instead of... Which piece has it? These 100% at low health. And yes, it is a massive difference, but it's also so much safer later on. But for now, let's just put this in.
guarantee. Shells fall again by sunrise.
Holy shit. The difference in power just from that. I think that these gems are just too strong. Luckily, they are not that easy to come by, the big ones. A chipped spike, very nice. I love getting more of these.
We don't have to be alone. I should go to them.
You must be quiet.
Yeah. I will try it with the ring later. To reduce the maximum health loss. Since if I swap the ring... Like, I mean, if I put... right now I have 36... 54. But if I increase this enchantment also by 100%, I would end up at a ridiculous amount of health loss. But if I replace this max health reduction and instead use a plagued ring, I would end up at still more than 50%, 56 or something, but I can boost the power of on the gloves. which is massive. Like, I'm not kidding. You cannot underestimate that difference. But I need to test how it will work with a proper Jade gang first. Wait, what are glove? What can be on plagued gloves? Yeah, nothing that would help. Reducing stamina is rare to come by, to be honest. Maybe I make the frost version a full on you know, a full focus build. Since with that one I won't need to use the focus to buff to get the hunter's marks. And like I said, we are skipping the story at the moment. We have been through this plenty of times already. We take our goat blood. And before we go fishing, we need to go back to the village once. Like to Sacrament, not this village, obviously. Oh, but first the silver. Then we take a 30-second break, so you won't be interrupted by this annoying shit. Let's see, we are back. And I know many of you will most likely even think I'm doing this for to get the money or something. But I don't. I'm honestly doing this simply to get... So you don't get ads during a boss fight or something like that. I try to time them manually now as to not inconvenience you guys too much. But I also fully understand if it does annoy you guys. In which case, I can only hope that you will forgive me.
The blight of time.
Wait, why did I want to go here? Right. I should place one more, since once I do the in quotation marks endgame stuff, I will be starting to get more runes. Cheers, Zecke!
Fresh ways living everywhere.
Life and
Infuse. Since honestly I have enough of the small ones to allow myself to buff this one as well.
silent as a whisper or loud as a thunderclap.
I have only very few fallen whispers and I want to save them. Since I do need to make new set of gloves, I need to make a complete new pair of pants. Since yes, these pants, they are good. But still, they could be better. Wait, honestly, do I need purple pants? Armor penetration goes up to 15%. How much is it in? Also 15. And then on here, I can get stamina recovery on this. Yeah, okay. So yes, to answer my own questions, I do want purple pants. Very much so, even. Void Ember and Fallen Ember, nice. More fish. Nah, even an ice build would be so much stronger with low health. Low health at the moment feels too strong. But to be fair, I am playing range, so I may be able to get away with it more than other builds, unless other builds using or use that overpowered barrier stuff. I know I was talking about wanting barrier as well, but I looked into it and no. Barrier is too broken at this point for me to wanting to lean into it. I did want it at for an added security, but no. Just no. The fuck? Oh, those guys are bounties. That explains a lot.
He speaks for us.
There are many tomato fields here. I only ever noticed once. One. No, they aren't bounty. Careful, I think there's a bear down here. Yeah. I knew it and I still got two tapped. And that is what happens when you want to drink and run at the same time. Don't drink and run, people. That was not a perfect one. That sucked. Ooh. Okay, so I don't have the health regen anymore. Now we can see how that affects me. Since, let's be honest, I started to rely very heavily on that one. But now I only have it in combat.
temple
This
can
time I'm not
look
making
for
the
the
same
window.
mistake.
Sarah move.
Since last time I forgot to talk with her and had to run back since I didn't get the egg key. Okay, it still works fine since I have a lot of life steal against bleeding targets. And I affect, or I put on bleed relatively quickly. Ooh, the fishies respawned. But whenever I go to Eleanor right now, I forget to do something. Which honestly really annoys me. Oh shit. Also, let's make use of that whisper and go back to town. And again, this time I will talk to Eleanor. This time I will remember what I wanted to do at her place. Hopefully. So before we go repair, we go to Eleanor, we go to check her what runes she has to offer today.
Nick, I fell.
Bye. Let's see. She does have the repair rune, she does have the damage search rune. Very nice. That one we want. She doesn't have the rune I'm after though.
On alert.
Good day.
Next, we go to the Watcher. Then, yes, we will return to Eleanor again. Right now, I am not smart planning. I am just going off. Oh, I don't want to forget again. Planning. And I still used the wrong thing again.
Oh, hello. Oh, well, oh, right. This perhaps a watcher's love.
Shit. I wanted to get utility rune up done. So I could buff myself with action search. Oh, wait a second, I can. I forgot that I still have the flame infusion in.
Life.
Serum?
Those stamina's full.
Now let's see just what difference this makes, shall we? It will only be 4, yeah, not worth it. Three, that would put us at 65. Let's see. Not 65, what the fuck? 59. Or 56 if I put one in to health each time. $56, okay. Okay, this is a big boy buff. Holy fuck. Interesting, I don't think this ladder was there before. Let me ask Silas. Dude, this build is turning into a real beast. How would you get in there? Very... Okay, I think I know how to get in there now. Yeah, okay. This secret found. From this point on, maybe I should keep a healing rune with me again. And ready up, Silas. How are you doing? Honestly, Silas, low health spells are too strong. Yeah, I think I found the letter you were talking about. Because look at this. And it's so easy to maintain. The thing is, these ambushes need to make sense. We don't have many intelligence enemies at the moment that always control an area. I'm glad to hear that. So the durability combo I got rolled is really nice. Remember, you can also still alter it slightly. Since there is a roll on weapons and bows, that instead of damage on durability, it is attack speed on with durability. Which with the with patience may come in handy really well. Okay, that jump looked doable, but it wasn't. Oh, definitely not. And in turn, gems that are harder to trigger than the low health. I get why low health is powerful. It comes with a high risk, but especially at the moment, I'm pretty sure you have seen Wicked Build's video on Barrier, right? But then look at these. Not wrong, this. Enchantment's power increased by 40%, and it has a limitation. I think we need more of those limitations in gems. Like, why is a gem that does 40% only once weaker than one that does 80% but can be permanently active and even be used to activate itself? Because look at this, maximum health reduced by 18% and maximum health reduced by 18%. But because the enchantment power increased by 100% at low health, triggers on the negative enchantment as well. I got pushed below 100, below the low health marker, this got active and now it's permanently active, even after death. More sublime embers. Nice. Now I can almost fully exalt my bow. The only reason I'm not exalting it yet is I'm not nearly at 100% with the physical damage increase. I'm only at 50. This goes up to 40%. And right now I don't know if that you can use Radiant Ember on an exalted item. I don't know if it's a bug or not. So I don't want to utilize that. Because, what if it's a bug? I exalt now, and they fix it in the next hotfix. Splat. Totally was on purpose to fast travel. Not. I will be honest, my fear of heights just got triggered there. And I walked stupid because of it. And the power of those low health gems and enchantment power increased gems in general. Why use other gems? At least an armor. Why? In weapon, you may need the infusion, but if I wouldn't need the self-heal from the bleed infusion, right? Imagine if I pop one of these in here. Okay, he doesn't burn. And they already tried to make the low health weaker. I don't know if you noticed, but the enchantments for take reduced damage on low health have vanished. What's wrong with me today? I have no excuse for that one. But the thing is, it's also hard to say how powerful would they really count as overpowered or not? Because hey, right now I am using a bow. One extremely strong bow to boot. Would this low health be as powerful in melee? It just feels a bit limiting at the moment. Like, even my other idea of using a full focus build. Have fun getting your hair cut. See you later. We are gonna grab the boars I was talking about. Since we will need to craft lots of armor. And that means lots of boar materials. Well, also lots of wool, but wool is hard to come by, so yeah. But as I wanted to say, even my low health build would also still utilize enchantment power increased gems. Ready up, Carolol. Yes, this is the updated longbow, and I'm not lacquered bow, and I'm not even utilizing its effect. With its effect, it would be even way more potent, but for trash mobs, I don't need it. If I were to use that and keep it up, I would be at 100% crit chance already. And part of the bow is also bugged at the moment. I can show you a fun trick with it. Since they designed the bow in a way you can keep the fourth buff, the fourth hunter's mark. You can keep it up all the time. If you ever so often hit again with another elemental arrow, right? To make that possible, they put the same element on an internal cooldown of 6 seconds. So if you enchant your bow with an element, it takes a while, but you can increase the hunter's marks to max stacks by just using one element. Do I have any with me? Yes, I do. Let's take this one. Nope. Bleed is physical damage. Here, you see right now, I only use attack with plague. Now, again, but I have 2. Now the internal cooldown should be over again, and 3. And 4. The reason bleed would not count is, again, it is physical damage. That is why on the forum I already made a thread and for a suggestion to rename this compendium part to status. Since I think this is something that confuses many people, bleed is an elemental damage. On the gem it says bleed on the spike it also says if on just like here, if it's the only elemental gem. And thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. The part of this bow that is currently bugged is the last one, unfortunately. The physical damage is increased by 30%. Ready up, I am Luna. How are you doing? And I can also easily prove it. And yes, I made a bug report about that. I also, in that same bug report, mentioned the elemental thing I discovered and showed off earlier.
Serum, I must speak with you.
We can restore.
Make a fortune in sacrifice.
Since I don't know if it's intended or not.
God's many hands are at work in the nameless past.
But, look at this. Right now we are at 61 to 62 crit damage, right? Let's go up the elemental damage. Now we have 4 Hunter's Mark. It's still 61 to 62, but our damage should have been massively buffed. Now, of course, you can say, hey, maybe it's the bleed infusion. Of course. But if we apply a blade oil, which increases the physical damage dealt by 20%. We go up to 71 crits.
Praise the Inquisition. God's many hands are at work in the nameless.
But even in a full... Even when that bug is fixed, I want a second one of this. It depends on how I'm feeling. I am dealing with depression and stuff like that, so I may not stream every day. But even if this bug is fixed, I may go, or I want, a secondary lacquered bow as elemental weapon. The reason is the critical hit chance and the stamina cost reduction. Because what I want to do is add a jade ring. So my stamina basically is unlimited. I can keep attacking unlimitedly. And if like I showed earlier, the elemental enchantments makes it easy to keep the 4 buffs up even while mobbing. And I think that is very worth it. I even want to make a freeze build with a lacquered bow without any bonus. Like without these tricks, without the physical bow, because this bow freezes so quickly. And then with enchants like this, frozen enemy armor reduced. Personally, I would recommend either an element or life leech or bleed. Let me check something. Okay. Unfortunately, there is no life leech on against frozen enemies anywhere except for weapons. So it depends. It really depends. Do you want the comfort of the elemental damage, of the buffs easy up, the crit chance and the stamina reduction? If so, I would recommend you to use an amethyst at the moment. Unless you have a full other elemental build done already. Because this, when you have an enemy infected, you gain 10% lifesteal. Which is extremely good. If you want to make use of the physical damage, when it's not bugged anymore, I would recommend the chipped bloodstone for extra weapon lifesteal. Because you may not have lifesteal otherwise. It's a good sustain. Or if you have the gain lifesteal against bleeding enemies, put bleed on. Because as I said and showed, this is currently bugged. But imagine this power when this works correctly.
Serim, I must.
We can restore it.
Because on top of everything,
Make a fortune in
The pagan gates will fall, and Caelan's faithful will be saved.
let me show you how easy it is. It's of course way easier against against the targets, right? But here, let me just get to 4 and then look here. A couple of attacks, elemental. Couple of attacks, elemental. Couple of attacks, elemental. It's relatively easy to keep it up. And if you go with bleed, you also have Fester. Dealing plague damage to a bleeding target will reduce enemy build-up recovery speed. Of course, against bosses, this is much easier to keep up than...
The pagan gates will fall.
Celine!
Allah, how are you all?
Thank you very much for staying with the guild for 41 months. I really appreciate it. I hope you are feeling a bit better. But then you also, like I showed you earlier with the elemental damage, right? Let me show you something really insane. Do I have one? Yes. There, Frost. You reduce your damage, of course, but look at this. Frozen. Look how quickly you simply freeze already. The second the damage goes down to 25%, it's frozen. Like, what would you say? Well, you see already, I have a full-on physical build, right? What would you say is that if I tell you yesterday to test this theory out, in the Crucible, I took the Frost Infusion and I failed because of a stupid mistake I failed against the second phase of the Crucible Knight. The first phase, with a physical build that I replaced Frost into, with a Echo, the damn horse didn't get to attack.
God has sent the magical to fulfill.
You don't look from around.
Serim! Serim, I must speak with you.
So, you don't need to lean into the physical. You can make a really powerful... And if you do it with an element... That's another thing. Especially, does your bow have a facet? What I hope for my Frost build is a bow with the frozen frozen facet. So I gain natural healing, natural ice damage. That would mean, yes, I am losing a bit of damage. Oh damn, I'm so sorry to hear that. So, then I can freeze with this, with the bow naturally. Then I want to put a health steal gem into here. And use... And I'm thinking of this. A full-on full focus build. Of course, I also right now, I have my low health build, which can also work really well with Frozen. Because I'm thinking of doing one swap. I want to swap this max health reduced out to put in another enchantment power increased gem. The problem with that right now, if I put one in here, the max health reduced also gets buffed. Putting me on way too little health. So I want to experiment on replacing one of my planned rings with one of these plagued rings. This will always give me lifesteal, no matter what I use. Since here, let me take this one off. And then also this one, to see how much I can attack with that. But you already see how little health I have now, right? Only 85, that would be... No. You can't survive on that.
I miss home.
That is why I want to replace this 18% max health reduced.
Has sent the magical to fulfill a great purpose.
Time for someone else.
The holy city will soon be free.
But you see how much more expensive and how much less I can attack right now. Because my stamina got massively reduced. That is why I want a jade ring.
Position. God's many hands are at work in the nameless path.
Serim, I must.
That is also really good. Because... Sorry about that. Your bow has every elemental arrow on it. Thank you. Has every elemental arrow on it. That means what you can really easily do, you trigger burning, you put a ruby in it to trigger burn, and then when the burn bar is full, you trigger overload with the lightning arrow.
Serim, I must speak with you. A watcher? Of course. Well, please tell her it's from Rome. One must
Leave some resin in the glades for the rest.
Overload seems to hit depending on how much health the enemy has. I have seen it proc for over 800 against bosses. The bow is extremely powerful now. It may lack some of the utility of other bows because it only has the elemental arrows. But that also gives it so much extra utility. My only problem with a fire build is this. Oops, I died. I don't know if you noticed there, but if an enemy, especially a boss, is in water, even as a puddle, the enemy doesn't burn. Yeah, the overload is also a massive AoE. And again, it triggers depending on how much health enemies have, not just on how much thunder damage bonus you have. And you don't need to rely on if you put a ruby in again, you don't need to rely on the extra on this rune for it. Since each of the normal attacks shoots 4 arrows. That guy's such a troll. So it seems like the runes on this bow deal more damage. But you need to see all of the damage numbers. Not just the one of an arrow. That's also a mistake I made at the beginning with this bow. Yeah. We do. Heck, could you imagine an overall speed increase with shock status? On a shocker version of this? This bow is my dream bow for attack spam bows. Because it should be relatively easy to keep the stamina up. And you have so much variety with how. As long as you get a good... what do you call it? A good jade ring. But since you can use the radiant embers on rings as well, there is so much potential for runes. I still like normal attacking and would put the same combo in. But for that I would make a Dex Faith build with the Balak Talon. Okay guys, we are over the 1 hour limit again, so before I move on, I will take the 30-second ad break, because we are nearing a boss. I don't want you guys to be hit with an ad during the boss fight. I'm gonna be right back. There we go, we are back. Wait, I'm going to the boss from another direction. Because that will allow me to open that shortcut.
Everything is gone. Maybe those chaps will be.
Eyes of the city.
Oh, and one more thing about Radiant Ember. You know, the one that can increase these statuses to higher rolls, right? You can use it on unique weapons.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. That is how my bow got this powerful. It was already really well rolled in critical hit chance and stamina cost reduction, but it started with physical damage increased by 21% instead of 30%. You can also use it on rings. At the moment, there is one thing possible, which I don't know if it's a bug or not. And that is, you can even use Radiant Embers after you exalted an item. But since they said you are not supposed to be able to use Embers after exalting, I am not doing that just yet. I'm really sorry. There. That boss was easy. And now imagine if I would not have to deal with weaving in all of this, the elemental arrows, which are slower than the attack speed.
I hear you cut out and it is clean.
And just get the stamina cost reduction and everything for free.
What?
But when I am not being a luck vampire,
I used to have your father. He carries.
The forest, 10,000 forests made about you return.
I know.
Don't brave the merit. Oh, I'm amazed. Road tween back when elves.
By the way, I am still trying, but whenever I'm sitting down to think on how to approach building up a one-shot, my brain gets fried. Oh, I need to grab the goat's blood. The goat has not respawned.
I lost myself.
Yeah, I need to reread all of Daggerheart again. Like the rulebook to really get a feel for it. I'm pretty sure that I would limit it to one city at the beginning at least. Yeah, something like that. Like, just little. Heck, to be honest, the only reason if I would get... Ooh. A durable staff. That could be fun. By the way, never underestimate the power of durable on weapons. Nimble. It reduces stamina costs. It goes from 23 for one attack to 17. Reliable? If I'm not mistaken, that removes crit. But more damage. No, it's not! Carol, I think you are not seeing one little thing of that. Because it's not well explained. It puts the base crit chance of the bow to 0%. But you still get the crit chance from the hunter's marks. So you can still go up to, with an unexalted bow, you can still go to 60% from this. And if you then have 10% crit chance on every piece, unexalted, you can still reach 100% crit chance with this bow and have the extra poise and damage. The extra poise and normal damage. Like, it should still say... it should say 0% chance to deal 150% damage for you, right? Under the damage? Yeah. Heck, you know these...
So this is the Jewel of Saturn.
It works the same way with other weapons. You can still get crit chance from your armor pieces. Ready up, Bam, how are you doing? So... what did I want to say? I forgot. But yeah, you can still get a lot of crit chance. It's definitely not useless. You get a lot more damage from that. Let me go into this No Rest for the Wicked planner real quick. Because I want to see something. Add facet, ritualistic, flame, keen, plant, razor, fast, reliable. Yeah. It is a 20% boost to damage. She went to a motorcycle lesson, accident happened, and she has a bad knee fracture. Let me see the exact name of it. Tibial plateau fracture. Right, now I remember what I wanted to say. Carlolol, I have one enemy in the game. You know these female monsters that like to dig out of the ground and try to jump scare you, right? I call them on my channel Miss Saggy Tits. So,
Fine, D, if you can count them.
cursing is completely fine here. And on top of that, what I wanted to say earlier with this one, with the durability stuff. On plagued items, do not underestimate this. There are enchantments for weapons that give extra damage or extra attack speed based on your maximum durability. It is up to 10% of durability. That means at maximum durability, usually, you would have 10% attack speed, or, wait a second, how much damage? %10 damage as well. But the durability facet doubles durability to 200. That means with that you would gain 20% damage or attack speed. Then you can roll the durability enchantment on it, another 10% extra attack speed or damage. Then if you have an this, for example, is plague. I think it even has natural plague on it. Yes. So with this one, since I get lifesteal from this, no, it reduces, apparently the indestructible facet reduces maximum durability behind the scenes by 90. So you would only get 10% of 10. 1. You would get a 1% damage increase. But you can remove the increased damage based on durability. But what I wanted to say, so from Plague, I am getting another, I am getting already lifesteal, right? Now, imagine if I put this in. Not this one. increased by 100%. Suddenly, I would be having 400 durability. So it would then already be 40% attack speed or damage, but that enchantment itself also gets a 100% boost. So we are talking... way too much. Way too much. Fuck. No! No. You are forgetting something. The 10% enchantment also gets doubled. It's 20% of 400. Or 80% attack speed. Yeah, let's... honestly... do I have durability increases? Because honestly, I want to test this now. Armor, bleeding, frozen, physical wound damage. No, I don't. But yeah. I think it's an oversight from them. Give me a second. I need to test that ASAP once I get an item that has this combination.
The criminal fresh wind. Get a balacta. You know what I mean?
Man's best friend is a flame.
There. Now, before we go for the next story step, let's go into the Crucible.
What's this? Who's Rowan? I reckon this one is. We remember yet a bandit is no.
Yeah? Honestly, I could just ask Silas to help me out. I made a bowler like that for him already. I could ask him if I could get it back for this test when he's back from the hairdresser, since he's getting a haircut, and replace the gem once and then put the same gem he had in back in, if I have it. They need to limit enchantment power gems. Honestly, let me put this to the build makers. Increase damage slash... Nah, we test them with you. Oh hey, look at this, a Philiter. With the reliable. So with that I can show you how you still get crits from just your armor as well. This is really nice. Yeah, and it was also a free weekend. And the co-op update is out. So right now, Realm, I can invite people. Lady Lash, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. And welcome to the Hunters Guild Raiders. How are you all doing? Celine, there is no starting gear. At the beginning, you get broken armor and a random weapon. It is. Which bow are you using? Woo. I'm okay. Recovering from my surgery. A bit in a down phase, if I'm completely honest. Otherwise, I'm good. Oh, the lacquered bow. So the same one I am using. I'm doing a low health build with it. And want to get a jade ring to get unlimited stamina, basically. Since the jade ring recovers your stamina based on a percentage of your max whenever you hit an enemy with the damage. Since you shoot 4 arrows that are homing, you get up to 24% of your stamina back. That is if you have a really good jade ring. And one more thing, with radiant embers, the ones that increase... Kidding me. That increases the power of enchantments. You can use them on uniques. So you can make your bow a lot stronger. That's why mine is this good. And thank you for the speedy recovery. It will take some time. Like, I'm still at least 1 more month not allowed to lift more than 5 kilograms. It was a gastric bypass, so for weight loss, I think I told you about that. It went successful. Since the surgery a month ago, I already lost, a bit over a month ago, I already lost 12 kilograms. I think that's about 28 lbs or so. Oh, and Lady Lash, I don't know if you know it, but with this bow specifically, quivers are a trap. The last part of this bow is also bugged. The physical damage increase does not work. So you could in theory play this with an elemental gem inside to get the hunter's marks for free. We definitely want this one already. A Radiant Ember. Nice. fireproof, we don't want that. And now I can show it. Here, the Radiant Ember. As you can see, I can use it on rings. Or on my unique. Yeah, that is definitely what I would go for first for your bow as well. And then last I would go for the physical, since, well, like I said, it's currently bugged, it's a waste. But also, could you imagine, right now I am playing this with... If I go with the Plagued Ring idea I have, instead of bleed and stuff, right? Imagine if I, instead of bleed, put in... another of those slow health gems. And just double the effects of the entire bow. Because I already get great lifesteal from this. Or if I go full element, because I get an elemental one, and I go maximum focus increase, 75%. Thank you, and have a nice lurk. Oh, I am feeling a lot better already. It's just... I still need to be careful. That's why I said always... It's to remind me as well to stay careful. Why I say I'm recovering from the surgery still. It's also why at the moment, with the snow and everything, I am extremely careful with going out despite loving snow and the cold. I don't want to slip and land on my stomach or something. Stupid ass bitch. Let's let my health recover a bit right now. Fire is freaking dangerous. And the problem is, right now I can't eat in the middle of combat. That will be my death. Because if I eat, I will get 20% more damage. So that's something I need to roll off for sure. There, that's easily 15 more, so I got a good damage increase. The fuck was that triple combo? I've never seen that. Fuck. This is of course the problem with my build. The low health and using cloth for my dashes means I'm against some bosses I'm pretty much a one-shot. Yeah, but it's just what I like. And I could, again, put it onto... one swap would change it. It would reduce my damage by quite a bit, but at the same time increase my health by a lot as well. And that would be simply swapping away from a low health build into a max focus build. Because, you see, my health would over double. I would have survived that attack, most likely healed against it.
This city deserves
You know what? I'm gonna risk something really stupid right now. Definitely not. Oh, no, 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 no. How many more do I have? 3. I take this. Am I still below? Yes, good. Let's see what change this does in my damage with the dummies, shall we?
Make a fortune.
Shall rot in the swamps and forests
heard
outside
words
our
like
walls. They are where they belong.
59 to 60. Oh, also the Felleter, right. I wanted to show this. As you can see, because of the crit from the crit chance I have on armor, I still can crit.
Swamps and forests outside our walls. They are where they belong.
So the reliable is not as bad as people make it out to be. Especially on the lacquered bow, and even otherwise, it frees up one more enchantment on your gear if you don't want to rely on crits. I mean, let's be honest, we played the entire time without crits and we did just fine. Oh. This looks good. I think we found our pants. Yeah. No, 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 no. This is bad because I'm using a buff. Ooh, fuck.
Man's best. I see the glint of steel in your eyes.
One. Life.
Where are you guys? Here. Then I want one in here as well. And we will now start preparing these pans. Because stamina recovery increased by 17% of current durability. That means we have over 20%. Good night and sleep well, Carlolol. Now let's see. Physical damage. Armor pen. crit damage. Well, we also want physical damage. So let's see. Ah, right. Physical damage first. More penetration. And critical damage. Alright. We have reached an hour. Nah, that's not worth it right now. Since I'm gonna make food soon.
God will curse us for saving the unholy village of Mary.
Yeah, that's 6 damage more per arrow on a crit.
We should let them rot in swamps and forests outside our walls. They are where they belong.
I'll take this.
Welcome back, Luna.
Saren, oh, thank thee and praise you've come.
Flies. Hope it.
God will curse us for saving the unholy.
Bam, are you still around?
I'm out.
You mean no rest for the wicked in general? Several hundred hours already. I don't really... I know I may go over my head with this, but... I do want to have more than just one person if I do that. And so I'm currently working on, or trying to, put together, or planning to better, not, since whenever I try I fail so far, in a Daggerheart one-shot. Would you be interested in it as well? Just don't expect maps or something like that in the first one from me. Since it would be the first time I'm DMing, period.
So I fill and then next time.
And if I do run a combat in it, be prepared for it to be over or under-tuned.
Bainbridge himself came down to secure the area.
This for official use only. If you want to pass, speak with Primus Bainbridge.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that. If you change your mind, let me know.
You can hear it. None make although I confess now are the lost their just to know.
Do you mind if I ask what happened? Of course you don't have to answer. You know that. But you know me, I'm curious as fuck. Okay. Yeah, completely understandable. Don't worry. Oof. Ow. Okay, the lifesteal is now insane. But I also notice the lack of stamina. Well, I only saw Discord in that message before Bam got to it. I assume it was one of those usual, let me chat a bit and then hey, I want to connect on Discord, add me at that and that. Yeah, we don't deal with that here. Like, I have no problem, splat, to connect with people in Discord and stuff like that, but that needs to be in different ways. Because 99% of the time at the moment, if people write that, it's just artists trying to force you to get to buy something. I thought I would go splat again.
So, I'll have my men and I'll inform. Consider my...
I'm pleased to hear the deserter's fate.
Okay, yeah. This is just insane, no. Wait a second, I just remembered something. Okay guys, the next whisper will be our stop point for today. We will test something then. And after that, I will stop the stream for today. Not a break, but a full-on stop, because honestly, currently I am slightly overdoing it. Ow. And here's the whisper already. That was faster than I expected, but still I stick to by what I said. I stick to by what I said. I stick to what I said, not I stick by what I said. But not both.
True. Do it for God.
Because I did remember something. Look at this.
We could restore.
Yes, they don't have the durable, but they already have the 79% increase and the damage increase. So 80% of that should still be noticeable.
Curse us for saving
I've
the
heard words
unholy
like
village of Mary.
Okay, let's see. We had 76, 95 and 150 crits.
In the swamps and forests outside.
Man's best friend is a blade.
Greeting.
And yep, you can put them into the weapons. So let's see. Okay, enchantment power does not put in the durability increase. Weird. But maybe on purpose.
This island. I miss home.
But still, we should get a good chunk more damage already for 4% more of 175. That's almost 8% more damage. No. Okay, yeah. It works. Otherwise, that would not end up in 81 and 31 more damage. And 31, I mean. Then again, I don't know. The durability increase may not work, but the rest definitely does work. Okay guys, like I said, this was it. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate the support. And as always, ready up for the next hunt.